Hey Internet, I'm Chaz.
And I'm Dan. Welcome to Wine is Serious Business, episode 211.
Getting up there.
Yeah, very appropriately, we've got two wines from 2011 tonight. We were talking about being done with the 2011s, and I'm like, not yet. We've got a few more we gotta get into.
I'm excited for 12, man. I'm so excited.
I know you are, but man, like
the 11s were fantastic too.
There's still a few reserve bottlings that aren't even out yet. So
okay, all right,
yeah.
Fair enough, but still,
we're in the transition phase right now, changeover at the end of the year.
Okay.
But we got two tonight from some kind of small run producers, local people doing great wine. We've had Big Table Farm on before, I believe.
Yeah, Big Table Farm. We've done it a few times now, but I tend to love their wine. What's this?
Yeah, I think this is the first EIEIO wine we've had on the show.
Okay.
We're going to start with that one, I think. So 2011 Yates Conwill Vineyard Pinot Noir, just released.
Yates Conwill Vineyard. I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
Yep, Yamhill Carlton. He makes a Chardonnay from there too, that I enjoyed recently. And I think Chenin works with it as well.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, but not when we have a lot.
Chenin makes a lot of stuff.
They do. Yep. Big production, but EIEIO's got a tasting room in Carlton. Just down the street from Seven of Hearts, from Byron, who's been on the show before. So
it's true.
Yep.
From Scott Paul, which is right down around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, great tasting room. I've been in there a couple times. Yeah, I always enjoyed myself. Smells quite good.
Yeah.
Temperature's good on it. Okay.
A lot going on. Definitely on the heavier side. On the nose, I wouldn't guess this was an 11.
No.
I'm getting like darker fruits, more like blackberries kind of.
That's a good point. The color is really dark too. It's getting a little bit of like almost the dirtiness, almost like wet dirt that I get out of some Ipsham wood stuff.
Sure.
Kind of like the muddiness.
Yeah, a little bit of black earth.
Yeah, it's like the fruit you hit the ground and you picked it up. You know.
Yeah, a little bit of cherry pit, I think too. Plum pit, something like that.
Yeah, definitely cherries.
Stones in the stone fruit.
But yeah, it's got good complexity. No, it smells good. Ooh.
So yeah, get a little bit of that black earth flavor kind of on the front and the sides, but I'm getting like a sweet cherry note right in the middle. So the darkness in the fruit, kind of like cherry cola, not quite. Not quite that sweet, right? But it's those kind of flavors. And the fruit really sits in the center of the palate, I think.
This is a crazy wine. It's good. I really like it. What the reason I'm making that face is, so it does start out transitionally with like really delicious flavors, like getting a little blackberry. Definitely cherries are showing for me. But as you swallow it, do you get like a really strong hit of acidity, and it's
totally
like super tart, like
cranberries,
mega exactly.
There we go.
It's like you kind of had those fruit flavors, and the next you're not even looking at what you're tasting. You grab the next
cherries
handful,
and somebody slips you a cranberry,
right? And it's like bitter beer face almost. Like it's just you kind of make a pucker. It's really cool because it's delicious at the same time. It's really well done. It's a very interesting transition in the wine. So yeah.
I dig it. I think the tartness of it kind of moderates that sweetness I get on the fruit. Makes the mouth water. But then, like now that you mention it, I'm sure for some folks it'd be a little much on the tart side, but it works pretty well for me.
Right. It's like two different wines in one, which is really, it's crazy in how it transitions. It starts off really nice, very pleasing, and man, it's just powerfully tart and bitter in the finish, but in a good way. I think I agree. Maybe like people who are young to wine or haven't drank a lot of wine or don't typically like wine would not find this appealing.
I can see this being hard for some folks.
I find this trait very interesting, and I enjoy it. So.
Yeah, and I don't get so much of the bitterness. I definitely get a lot of acidity, and it's also strong. Blind, I would never pick this as an 11. But this is one of the later releases too, right? Like, I think we're going to see the vintage. I think everybody we've tasted 2011s with said that they're definitely going to age interestingly. So this might be kind of like the leading edge of what these wines evolve towards as well.
It's strange to say it, but it's almost kind of like a lime flavor to the finish. Like this, I was like trying to figure out what the flavor was, and it's not grapefruit. It's definitely not a ruby red sort of thing. It's like you bit into a lime, or you bit half like a lime slice, and you bit the whole thing off with some of the peel and everything. It's got that sort of like hit of acidity and hit of tartness to it. That's really cool. Very complex, really interesting wine. 89 points is sort of where I'm sitting at with it. It's definitely, well, I should go 90 because I do find it very interesting, and I do really enjoy drinking it and would continue to drink it. I sort of worry about what other people would think about it. I like it.
Yeah,
so.
I like it too. 90 points for me as well, and more solid. You know, and I feel really confident about that. I like the complexity. The stronger acidity really is where I like it to be, and like I said, I'm not getting too much of the bitterness, or it doesn't turn into something that detracts from me. But it's a high intensity Pinot Noir. Again,
good point.
You know, surprising for the vintage, but it's not intense like the 12s you've had, where it's like intense with ripeness. But really, you know, AVA character, right, with that dark black fruit. Just cool stuff going on. Both of these are 40, you know, in the 40s, right? 40, 45 bucks, somewhere in that neighborhood as well.
Okay.
But yeah.
I think so. 35. 35, 45?
I think somewhere they're in the
so
neighborhood
40,
they're in the neighborhood of 40 bucks plus,
yeah, 40.
plus or minus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right.
All right. And so, which bottling is this? This is the
Catrall Brothers.
Catrall Brothers Vineyard 2011 from Big Table Farm.
I'm going to be a bit contrarian here. A little bit of press that I've seen, people have been loving the worts from 2011. We like, or at least myself, we did the worts in 2010. I was particularly fond of that. This year, tasting through the lineup, I was a little more interested in this one.
Okay.
So that's what we've got today. We've got the cool truck on the front label. I guess the Catrall brothers, who own the vineyard, like to collect and rebuild vintage trucks, and they always
good hobby.
Yeah, they always deliver the grapes in these old trucks, which is a cool story.
Yeah.
And yeah, and man, if you live in the Oregon area and are out and about on like Memorial Day or Thanksgiving weekends, like go out and taste at Big Table Farm. Right, they're not open regularly; they're only open for special events. It's a really cool location, cool site, and a chance to taste wines that really don't show up in retail stores.
Mm-hmm.
So
I still haven't been there.
oh man,
After all this time, I still haven't.
Man,
Are they only open special like weekends, or are they open all the time?
Well, you can make appointments, but they aren't open.
I should make an appointment. Just go out sometime.
Yeah, see if you can make it happen.
Yeah, all right.
They're cool folks too. So
They are.
Yeah.
I have met them with the Wine Bloggers Conference.
Yep.
I met them, so yeah,
Yep.
wonderful. Big Table Farm. These guys stylistically almost have like you can. The noses are definitely like bigger, right?
Sure.
They're bigger. They're a little softer, fruited. They're like a lot of the baking spice sort of thing coming out of it.
I'm
I definitely
100%
get.
agreement
I
with this
definitely get this in other wines, but it's like something that's typical in Big Table Farm wine, and it
Fruity,
smells great.
little like full intensity fruit on the nose. Like all the red cherries, raspberries, strawberries, maybe a little bit of sour cherry.
whole
going on.
bouquet. Yeah, I agree with that. Man, it's sort of like nutmeg, like spicy.
Not so much earthy. I agree with the baking
No.
spice more when you're talking about the structural side of it.
Right. It's yeah, definitely none of the not like the EIEIO where it was earthy. Anyway.
Oh, and Catrall's Yale Amity too, so it's different AVA.
Boy, that is just
Nice texture, man.
really nicely textured. Yeah. For something that's so, I mean, definitely compared to the EIEIO, very clear in glass. The aromas sort of lend to something that will be this, like a little more fuller in the mouth. Man, just the texture in the mouth is wonderful here. So
Red fruits definitely come through on the palate. I'm getting like the raspberries and the strawberries, like they're softer red fruits.
totally.
The tannins are on the soft side as well too. Like as I'm sitting here talking, they kind of start to build up on the sides of the palate, but they're slow to do so. They don't get too big. Yeah, a little nice drying sensation, but the fruits. What really struck me about this, right, is the fruit is delicious and really friendly right out of the gate. Like
Agreed.
it has a much more, this is a good contrast here. I think this has a much more universal appeal. right?
Totally. Yes. Yes.
Where just that little soft entry, maybe it doesn't quite have like the punch or some maybe that back end complexity, but the fruits are much more kind of embracing right out of the gate.
And very gentle, like structurally, better, a little better integration. Maybe not the evolution, like the complexity you're talking about, but just gentle and super easy to drink. And yeah.
They sit really nicely on the palate too.
Mm.
Soft, maybe a little bit of darker flavors edging in light, a little bit of evolution there.
It's definitely leaning more towards the red berry fruit as opposed to cherries, at least for me. The acidity, the way it kind of comes in on the finish, it adds a little bit of tartness, sort of reminds me of like pomegranates, cold pomegranates. You know, like that sort of like red, tart, sort of very focused flavor.
The acidity's a really nice place.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. This
Makes
is really
like
good.
water, like yeah. A little more consistent with the vintage character too. It's definitely on the lighter side, right? I'm not getting bigger notes either in fruit or in structure.
No.
Or in alcohol here. Like this is more what I'd expect from an 11, I think.
11.9. That's low.
Oh wow!
I can't believe the body
Wow.
that this thing's got for 11.9.
That's
crazy.
impressive. That's cool.
That's remarkable. Yeah, that's really well done. Digging this. Another Big Table Farms wine that I really enjoy. You need a little more.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna be hanging out now. Both of these
so-
are pretty enjoyable.
91 plus for me. Another one of the better 2011s I've had. This is just wonderful, and I think really not an 11 you have to hold onto for
Nope.
a amount of time. I wouldn't be afraid to age this for a few years, but I think that you could buy this and drink this now, and you'll be extremely pleased.
Man, that's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's got some structural elements that lend to like a few years of aging is no problem. 3 to 5 years, not a big deal.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that it wouldn't, but there's a number that I've had that I think would benefit from some more time. But
This is ready to go.
This is good to go.
Yeah.
It's really enjoyable right now.
Yeah. So what do you think? We just go-
I don't know.
Yeah, gotta pick. Oh, that's good. Ooh.
90 plus for me. Just a little edging up. I would take it higher for me. I'm looking for a little more evolution late, but the flavors are in a really nice place right now.
Yeah, this is drinking really well.
Two solid wines, and I think really representative of kind of what you should expect at this price point. I think
That's a good point.
I think when you get the $45 range, like they're definitely kind of like a step beyond good, right? Like you've got good flavors, but you've got something to think about, right? You've got more of a breadth of experience going on, and they also represent like really kind of unique small producers here too. Both of these are kind of tough to find in the general retail market. I'd say really if you want to get a hold of these wines, send an email to them directly. Get in touch with them personally.
Right.
And I've been really good about putting links down below the show now, so you can get in touch if you want to do that. But there's two folks doing cool things out here in Oregon, worth trying.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Both these wines are worth your time to check out because they're both really, really quite interesting. So anyway, yeah, great show. Question of the day.
Question of the day. Christmas is coming up next week.
What do you want for Christmas?
There we go.
Did we ask that at the Christmas show? No?
We didn't. Yeah, we kind of screwed up. We shot the Christmas show last week.
Well, yeah, it's all right. We can talk about
I
it.
had to switch it around, so we can still ask that.
So this is we shot this one after. But yes. So what do you want for Christmas?
Let us know. Thanks everybody for watching. It's always a good time.
I want a Nikon 200 to 400 millimeter f4 zoom lens. That's what I want for Christmas.
Oh man, Chez is dreaming big. I hadn't even thought.
You don't know what
I'm going to be on the complete other side. The other day, I built a new computer, and I've been using a magazine as my mouse pad. And it just pissed me off last night. I was playing video games. I got a little bit of lag. It killed me due to the
That
bad.
is
So
totally
I was like, I want a mouse pad. I need a mouse pad for Christmas. I should have told my family this because that's like the $6 gift you can get that'll make me happy.
I've got a mouse pad
But
for you.
okay, Chad's gonna make my Christmas right now. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you guys next time. Bye. I laugh because I can